Hello everyone, it's Brickmaster here, and today I have a truly epic LEGO set to review. This is the LEGO Insectoids 6977 Arachnoid Starbase set from 1998. This set comes with 433 pieces, was rated for ages 8 to 12, and cost you $80 back when it was in stores. Now, this is a really nice set. Comes with a lot of interesting features and minifigures and functions throughout, and this is the first set that I got from the 20th century, and this is what kicked off my liking for older LEGO sets, and because of that, it's very special to me. So let's look at the box to be the first part of the review. Alright, so here's the front of the box. I think it looks quite nice, and I do really like the background art on this. I really like how it looks like there's a rock here, and that's the back mountains, and there's lightning, some kind of cosmic storm in the background. And unfortunately on this box, there are quite a few mistakes on it. For example, if you look here, the claws are built incorrectly right here. It's very strange. There's no slits here where the magnets should be. And for some reason they use the Spirius droid head for the Insectoid droid heads, and that of course is wrong. And here the clip that's on the control tower is also placed on in the wrong way, but I think I only noticed that because I spent too much time looking at the box, but anyway, yeah, I think it looks very nice. Like many of the sets from this time period, this box has a neat flap that you can lift up like this, so you can see some of the features and even a short synopsis about the series. So that's what that looks like, and you can see it has a picture of the Arachnoid Starbase split in its two halves, and a picture of the little control tower as well, which is actually the only stationary base in this entire series, which I think is very interesting. But anyway, the little synopsis says, laser scans reveal new robotic bug-like life forms exist. The Insectoids search the galaxy for the precious energy orbs and are prepared to fight to protect them. With building sets from the LEGO System Insectoids collection, only you, the LEGO Maniac, can help the Insectoids succeed with their mission. So I think that's quite nice that they added that. It provides a little background story on what these aliens are doing. And here you can see that it shows you a picture of these two aliens conversing about the crystal that this droid found. And here it shows you little windows where the minifigures and the more interesting parts would have been shown. And since I got this set new, I can actually show you what the tray looked like, and you can see that's where the cockpit piece would have been, some of the minifigures, the wings, two of the legs, and of course the light and sound brick, which in my opinion is the best LEGO piece of all time. And over here you can see there's some cardboard, and this would have just kept the bags in place when they were all in here. And I think overall this box is quite nice. You can see how thick it is. Look at that. That's like an inch thick. That's pretty secure. So yeah, they would never do something like that today. So now we'll look at the back. So at the back of the box, it shows you all the alternate builds, and I really think that this one is just okay, but this one looks like it could have been an actual set. I think it looks really nice. It looks like some sort of centipede, or with a stinger there at the back, and has a little turret and some little speeder that can fly off. And I think that would have been a decent, maybe $60 set. I know the Celestial Stinger was around $50, so yeah, that would have been a good $60 set. And I'm almost tempted to actually buy another one of these just so I can build that, but yeah, I'm not gonna buy another set. But if I ever do, mark my words, that would be built. Anyway, let's look at the instructions next. So here are the instructions. They are quite large, and yeah, it makes sense. It's a larger set. And if you open the instructions up, they are pretty simple. They don't give you the box that tells you what pieces you need for each set, but it really just makes you pay attention. And unlike many of the sets, this actually has a decent amount of steps of building, and comes with 48 pages including the back, which is quite impressive for a set at this time. You can see it shows you the alternate builds at the back, and as you might have seen, it shows something interesting. It shows you a little sketch of things you can do with the set. For example, you can put this front part and connect it to the back. Here it shows you how you can switch the magnet around and how that works. So, yeah, it also tells you about instructions regarding the battery box in a bunch of languages. So, yeah, everyone in every country that LEGO is selling to, maybe at that point, would have known what to do and what to be careful of, but I think the instructions are quite good. Here are the minifigures that come in the set. They are 4, and they are all really, really amazing. And before I even show you them, 3 out of the 4 have leg printing. Even today, that is something that LEGO doesn't do, and I think that that is something that is really, really nice. And I think that Insectoids as a whole is an underappreciated theme that really should be seen as something that is quite amazing and held to the same standards as the classic LEGO space from the 80s and 70s. But anyway, here's the first minifigure. He's, of course, an insectoid alien, and he has this nice trans-neon green, dark green helmet, and it looks very bug-like, and you can see he has some printing on his torso and on his legs, and he has a really nice shoulder pad mold piece. And if you lift off his helmet, you can see his face, and it has some really nice printing on it as well. You can see he has a crosshair over his eye, probably telling him where he can locate crystals or something like that. And he's smiling and has some black hair and has some cybernetic implants or something like that, which I think this looks great. It's full of detail, and I have to say these are much better than the early Star Wars minifigures. So he also has some gray skin as well, which is quite different. But anyway, he's an alien. He's supposed to look a bit strange, but here is another insectoid alien. He's the only minifigure that does not have any sort of leg printing, but I think that's fine. And of course, that's what his torso looks like. And if you take off his helmet, you can see his face, and he has some silver hair instead of black. And he also has a crosshair over his other eye, and you can assume that that is used to locate crystals as well. And of course, he has his cybernetic implants and everything, and he has some green sleeves to his jacket that he's wearing, his spacesuit. And I think that's really nice as well. And this minifigure has some oxygen tanks here at the back, of course, so he can breathe while he's on this alien planet. And just a little brief thing about the insectoids themselves is that they do come from a different planet. Here is the insectoid droid minifigure, and he looks quite good, has a lot of printing. And he has a clear helmet, which is nice too. And this is much better than the first C-3PO, maybe even the C-3PO now, but anyway, he does have a very nice blaster right here. That's used as a megaphone piece, but many of the Star Wars that carried over to Star Wars. So, yeah, let's look at the tower. Alright, so here's the control tower, which I think looks really nice. It uses a lot of nice pieces that make it look very unique, and of course many of the pieces in this set are quite rare, like these insectoid dome pieces in this cockpit area. But anyway, of course there's a radar dish here at the top, and you can spin it, 360 degrees, and you can make it move down slightly as well, so you can get a good range of signal, which is of course what you'll need if you're on this very dangerous planet. Anyway, there's also this little seating area right here, which can fit one minifigure. So I'll go ahead and put the insectoid droid in there, and I think he looks very nice inside of here. He'll have to lean up a little bit, but that doesn't really bother me too much. And back here, you can see that there are these little radar dishes here. And there's also this little compartment, so you can fold this down, and inside are 2 crystals, and this is what they look like. It's a really nice mold. It is different than the Chima ones. And here it has this little sticker that has a magnetic, or it's either magnetic or it's just a bit of metal in it, and you can pick it up with a magnet, which is nice. And I think that it's really good that LEGO did not put any metal in the actual piece and just put it inside of the sticker. So I think overall this is a very nice control tower, very unique. I like it. Alright, so here's a look at the Arachnoid starbase itself. It's a very large vehicle, and it looks quite intimidating actually, but the Insectoids are a peaceful race, so that's fine. But anyway, this is what the front of it looks like. It has some really nice looking leg pieces here that of course are exclusive to this series. It also has some claws here that can of course pick up things, so yeah, you can find crystals and pick them up. Here of course is a magnet, which is used to pick up some of the crystals, so I'll go ahead and show you that right now. You can pick them up like this. I need to stand it up, but yeah, it picks it up like so. And the magnet is pretty decently strong. It's not really powerful or anything, but it gets the job done. And of course that sits right up there. Over here you can see there's this cockpit piece that, just like the one on the control tower, can fold down, and of course you can sit one of your Insectoid minifigures inside, and here's a really nice little area, and you can see that there's some pretty nice prints on here, which are controls of course, and I like that they have the controls on the windscreen. I think that's a pretty neat idea, and I think that it's done quite well. Up here there's this little flyer speeder that can come off like this, and it's quite simple, and of course it can fit one minifigure on there, and you're supposed to put this minifigure on there so you can fly around and scout the area and see if there's any hostile forces around, or if there are any crystals as well. And he sits right up here. And there's a pretty nice feature as well with this set, which is where you can split this thing in half, which I think is great. So yeah, I'll pull this thing off screen, so I think that'll be a bit smoother, so I'll see you then. Alright, so this is the Arachnoid starbase split in half, and I think that both halves look really nice. I think this one looks the best, of course, and looks somewhat similar to the Sonic Stinger, which is one of the other sets from this theme. But anyway, back here you can see that there are these two little compartment areas. One here, if you lift this up, you can see has a little scooter or speeder, and of course you can go ahead and put one of your minifigures on there. So I'll put this Insectoid right on here, and I won't bother to clip his hands on, but yeah, that's what he looks like, and he can speed about on the planet looking for crystals and the like. And I think that's really nice because it goes here on through these little holes here and just slides in there really nicely. And I think it's held securely by this. I think it's held quite securely by this piece here. And of course, that looks really nice. And there are these very interesting pieces that are used right here that I have seen before on the Explorian starship. So they aren't rare. I thought they were, but they're rare now. And here there's this compartment where you can lift this down, and there are some little accessories in here, which I think are nice. There's this little this finder thing. I think it's similar to a metal detector, and you can just scan the floor with it so you can find some crystals. Here's one of the another crystal, and as you can see, it still has the little metal sticker. Over here, they have a walkie-talkie inside, so you can keep in contact with the other Insectoid forces that are on the planet, and I think that's quite nice. And they use this cockpit windscreen piece for this, and I still think it looks quite good. I think that having a translucent compartment is a very nice thing, so you can see what's inside. So it closes up very nice. It's one of those old hinges that they don't make anymore. So over here you can also see that there are these huge crane arm things that are also supposed to pick up crystals. So I'll go ahead and I'll set one of the droid minifigures right here, and he has a nice comfortable seat. The control panel is a bit high, so he'll have to stand up if he wants to actually see what's going on, but I'll go ahead and put one of the crystals here on the ground so you can use the crane to pick it up, and of course it works very well. The crane is built in a very nice looking way and uses some nice techniques that I think are quite good for the time, and I think are very acceptable for today. you can see that this vehicle uses some very large plastic wheel pieces that I think they just brought back recently, if I'm not mistaken, and that's a very good idea that they brought these back, because I think that they look quite good. So I'll take this piece off, and I'll move this vehicle and show you the back. And here it has some antennae pieces, of course, so you can maintain radio contact. And something that you might seen, and I think is just absolutely amazing, is that these two pieces, these are different pieces, they are 100% prints. I think that looks really great. You can see it has all this circuitry on here. It looks somewhat like a motherboard, maybe a futuristic one. And here it has some radar dishes, and as you might have expected, this opens up, and this is the base area of the Arachnoid starbase. And back here you can see there are some computers and everything like that. And there's one with a little lever on there, so you can have your minifigure stand there and work on the computer. And I think that looks really nice in there, and you can actually get all of your minifigures back here, so you can have a little discussion about what the crystals that you've gotten today or something like that, or even have a meeting with the top officials of the insectoid force. So I think that looks really nice, and this almost reminds me of a mouth in a way, but I think back here is quite good. And now I'm going to show you one of the best features that LEGO has ever put in a set. Alright, so as you could have seen on the front of the box, this set has a light and sound feature. I thought I'd save the best feature for last, and I'd show you that. So if you press these buttons, these three back here, it'll make some noises. So if I press this one, it makes this noise. And I'll show it to you from up here so you can see the actual light. So it makes that noise. This one makes that noise. It sounds very much like a cricket. And this noise, which sounds like a rocket ship taking off, which is obviously when this front section is in flight. And of course it sounds like it's powering down now that it's finished. And I like that I filmed this in a somewhat darker area, so it shows you what the light really looks like. And I think that feature is one of the best that LEGO's ever used. And I think they used something similar in some of the newer rocket sets. Well, not really newer from this point in 1999, but I think this one is better. But anyway, let's look at the little pamphlets and catalogs. Alright, so here's the pamphlet and the mini catalog. So the pamphlet's quite nice, and you can of course unfold it and see what's inside, and feel free to pause anytime you want to actually get a good look at anything. So let's get into this. Alright, so here's now the mini catalog. Here's the table of contents. Here's adventures. More adventures. Insectoids, and here of course is the Arachnoid starbase. I do have this set, this set, this set, and that set as well, and I've reviewed some of them. UFO, great series. RoboForce, underrated series. Aquazone, very good. This is Hydronauts versus Stingrays. The little third-party Aqua Raiders and Fright Knights. And now Ninja. Ninjago was not the first Ninja series, by the way. Wild West. Cowboys and Native Americans. City. Very juniorized. I have a few of these sets. Extreme Team. Love the name. Some nice builds too. Rescue, Res, and then the letter Q. Very, very cool name. Divers. I'm surprised they released Divers and Aquazone and the Aqua Raiders all at the same time, but who am I to judge what LEGO does when it comes to marketing? Outback. Very small but nice theme. Time Twisters, really crazy theme, but a lot of creativity, I guess. Radio Control, Technic, and Technic Competition. Pretty neat motorcycle as well for Technic. I think they re-released that as well. And here, get your LEGO Mania magazine for Canada and for the United States. So let's look at my overall thoughts on this set. Alright, so for my overall thoughts on the set, I really love it. I think it's great. It's one of the best space sets, in my opinion. I think that and the monorail are the top two. I still can't decide which one I like better, but as you could probably tell, you could already tell what I'm going to say. Definitely go for this set. I got this set for $120 sealed in the box, which is of course a great find, and I would encourage you to pay that much for it sealed in the box as well. You can find this set for around $80 if you want to get used. I think that's a fair price because you're paying just as much how it costs in stores, and I think that, of course, this set would have appreciated in value, so I guess I was wrong when it came to that, but I think this is a very underrated set, very underrated series. I think it's one of the best, though. So, yeah, that's it for my review. Stick around for more Insectoids reviews. I think 2 sets now that I still have to review. Yeah, so, yeah, wait until those come out, and I hope you made it to the end of this video. I know this is a really long one, so I hope you enjoyed it, and stick around for more reviews, of course, because they will be on the way. Alright, goodbye.